May I continue this week by telling you that the third purpose for prayer is to bring us into intimacy with God. This term intimacy has to do with, one writer says, intimacy. Prayer brings us into that kind of intimate experience with God that we long for Him. We want more of Him because we have seen what happens when we connect with Him, when we relate on an intimate level with Him. And so this sort of experience was what Moses had. I'm continuing with the idea of Moses. And Moses had the same kind of experience with his God, to the extent that one day he asked God, he said, "Show me your glory." And he said, "I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord before thee, and will be gracious to whom I'll be gracious, and will show mercy on whom I'll show mercy." Moses had this intimate experience. I told you some time ago that God gave us prayer because what we lost in the Garden of Eden was of such where we could have talked to God face to face, but we lost that. And so God gave us prayer to rekindle that, to bring us back to where Adam and Eve was, where God walked and talked to them in the cool of the day. Prayer is intended to bring us into that kind of intimate experience. Oh, there was never a person to my mind in all of Scripture that prayed and sang like David. And here's what David had to say in Psalm 63 and verse 11. When he was in the wilderness of Judah, he prayed, he said, "Oh God, thou art my God. Early will I seek thee. My soul thirsteth for thee. My flesh longeth for thee in a dry and thirsty land where no water is, to see thy power and thy glory. So as I have seen thee in the sanctuary, because thy loving kindness is better than life, my lips shall praise thee. Thus will I bless thee while I live. I will lift up my hands in thy name. My soul shall be satisfied with marrow and fatness, and my mouth shall praise thee with joyful lips. When I remember thee upon my bed." Listen to what David is saying. "And meditate on thee in the night watches. Because thou hast been my help, therefore in the shadow of thy wings will I rejoice. My soul followeth hard after thee, and thy right hand upholdeth me." David is here going through a century experience, an experience so intimate with his God that David is, when you look at the language here, prayer experience is bringing David to express the kind of relationship that he and his God shares. In Psalm 42 verses 1 to 21, again he talks about, "As the hart panteth after the water brook, so panteth my soul after thee, O God. My soul thirsteth for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God? My tears have been my meat day and night, while they continually say unto me, Where is thy God?" When I remember these things, I poured my soul in me, for I had gone with the multitude. I went with them in the house of God, the house of prayer, if you may, with the voice of joy and praise, and with multitude that kept holy day. David knew what it is like and what it was like to have that close, intimate relationship with God. When we have a close, intimate relationship with God, we have power available to us. It was such that Jesus himself experienced because of his close experience and relationship with his Father. Jesus himself said to disciples in John 15, "Abide in me and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit except it abide in the vine. No more can ye except ye abide in me." Jesus is saying, "I am the vine and ye are the branches." In other words, he's calling us to join with him, to be close with him, to abide with him, to get into an intimate experience with him, because out of that comes the fruit that we ought to bear. In fact, in that same passage, Jesus, it says in verse 7, "If ye abide in me and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you." Listen to me, friends in Radio Land. If we abide in him, we could ask. Here comes the power to ask, because the relationship is intimate. I believe this was the experience of Jesus Christ, when he could come down from a mountain and in an instant just call the devil out of somebody. The power to do it was available because the intimate relationship of the early mornings in prayer made the difference. I've come to tell somebody in Radio Land, let's climb into this experience of prayer in which we come into an intimate experience with our God. May God bless you real good in Jesus' name.